J-E-T-S, Jets, let's go.
Jets wide receiver Wesley Walker. Wesley, how you doing today? ESPN writer, Mr. Rich Cimini, Jets reporter for The Athletic, Mr. Zach Rosenblatt, Hall of Famer, and Jets legend, Mr. Marty Lyons.
Your host, Connor Long.
Welcome in, everyone. We are here one day ahead of the New York Jets Week 7 matchup against the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Jets will travel to Pittsburgh to take on the Steelers. Russell Wilson will be starting, but I think the bigger news, the big picture we're going to look here is Mike Williams. Obviously, as most of you guys know, the Jets did acquire Davante Adams on Tuesday. He now becomes the 8th wide receiver in this really already crowded wide receiver room before he even got dealt. So this means, targets are even going to be harder to come by. And Jordan Schultz, now Fox Sports, reported that the Jets are going to look to shop Mike Williams at the deadline. And this is really interesting. And I think this is why, we all know Davante Adams is going to have a huge impact on the Jets offense, but I think he's going to impact the Jets offense even more than most people think. You look at Williams. Last Monday night, it was the second game in a row, comes down to the last play of the game. Him and Aaron Rodgers have an offensive miscommunication, both plays obviously to an interception that seals the game. So I think at this point, Williams has lost the trust of Rodgers. And, if you guys watch Hard Knocks last year, if you guys just know who Aaron Rodgers is as a quarterback, as a player, as a person, if you lose his trust like I think Mike Williams has, he is not going to throw you the football, which I think is not great. So that's why I'm not surprised that there are reports that he's going to get dealt, because Davante Adams, he's going to, take up a lot of the target share. Garrett Wilson, he's going to get his fair share of targets. Obviously bringing Davante Adams in, but he had 22 in Week 5. Allen Lazard is always going to get his targets. I think that leaves Williams as kind of the odd man out here, so to speak. I think he's probably the 4th receiver now on the Jets depth chart, and the wide receiver room as a whole. It's going to be interesting to see what they do if they get rid of someone. Maybe they put Gibson on the practice squad, because 8 wide receivers is really interesting. I'm sure, tomorrow night, obviously the game, they might make some roster moves with the wide receiver room before the game. But let's get into the main topic of today's video. Should the Jets trade Mike Williams? I don't know what the thoughts here are here from the audience, but you might be surprised. I'm not trading Mike Williams, and I'll tell you why. One injury, whether it's Lazard, Garrett Wilson, or Davante Adams, someone goes down, you need someone to be the next man up, to be that third premier wide receiver. That's why I think Mike Williams could do just that for the Jets. Behind, Williams, if you get rid of Williams, then you're opening the door. Xavier Gibson, who I don't trust much, is going to, pick up some targets. Quite frankly, Malachi Corley might pick up some targets, which I'm sure a lot of people want to see. But from the Jets, I'm not trading Mike Williams. He's on a 1-year contract, 1 year, $10 million. Get through the rest of the season with him. Who knows? He might come up clutch towards the end of the season, but you just get through the season with him. Sign him to a $1 year, $10 million deal this past offseason. So just get through the season and then move on. And, his trade value right now probably isn't great. I'd say you could probably get a 4th or a 5th round pick for Williams. At that rate, I'd rather just stick it out through the rest of the season. Like I said, one guy goes down, then Williams automatically steps back up into that huge role. So I'm keeping him just because you're not going to get too much in return, and I think he can be useful as the year progresses. But the New York Jets travel to Pittsburgh tomorrow night to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. They look to improve 3-4 on the season. Jets interim head coach Jeff Ulbrich said Mike Williams, they have a game plan that Mike Williams is going to be involved in, which is great to see. Hopefully Mike Williams can, repair his struggles throughout the season's first 6 weeks. Jets go out, pick up a W in Pittsburgh. Quite frankly, they really need this W if they want their playoff hopes to stay alive. That'll do it for me, everyone. Make sure you smash that like button and you are subscribed to the channel. Connor Long signing off. JETS, 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 Jets.